during the start of the pandemic, because of the media and because of the televised coverage and everything publicly that was being given to us, I became very angry because they wouldn't let us out. We were prisoners in our own home, and it told us we couldn't go out, but they also made me frightened to go out. So I wasn't in control anymore, and it felt like they were controlling my life. When the pandemic hit and they told everybody to stay at home, people must have just thought, like we did, it would be a week, a month, or, at the most, because they'll sort this thing out, because you'd never in your lifetime thought that anything could wipe the world of all humans, really, because we were all inside buildings. So that in itself was traumatic, because everybody was horrified. But then, as the months went on, and they were letting people come out, but not the vulnerable, and they were saying to us, you need to stay in your house, don't go in your garden, just open a window to get some fresh air, don't see anybody at all, just be, if you're in your own little bubble, stay with that's it. I've just won a massive battle with PH, from being down a black hole, as I called it, where I just thought I was going to go down there and not come out. That was the end of my life. And I came out of that and started to live and said, I'm going to do things. But then this hit. And then because we could see people outside starting to go out, going for walks, and on the news he was saying some people are in the park, and we're going, but why are we in here stuck? And then I just thought, it's took my life again. Only this time it isn't PH. It's because I've got PH that I've got to stay in. But now this coronavirus is stealing my life. So that was even worse than PH, because at least with PH, my family were around me and were involved in the process and helped me to become strong, and helped me when I was poorly, and helped me get back to normality. But with COVID, it was just me and Kevin, and we were on our own, and we just thought, will it ever end? Nobody knew what was happening. There was massive deaths every day. It's a silent war, going on in the world. We're not fighting each other, we're fighting a disease. And I did pray a lot at the time, because I'm quite a strong Catholic, and I prayed a lot because I just kept thinking, this might be the end of the world, really. We don't know, because nobody can find out what's going on. It's gone from nothing to absolute global pandemic. And then that's when I realised I'm out of control here. When they did eventually say we could go out, the first time I did venture out was to go to my daughter's, as I say. But I was worried about just being out in the atmosphere, because they'd banned us from being even in my garden. Why could I suddenly go to a park when I couldn't sit in my garden, which would have brought me happiness with my flowers in the summer, instead of looking at them through the window? So when the time came to be free, I was reluctant to take that step forward. Then I became very angry that I realised my PH had affected me physically because it made me poorly, but the government and the media and the coverage had affected me mentally, and they were in control of my brain, and I've never allowed that in my life. I'm quite a strong person, and they took that freedom and independence away from me. The confidence only crept in though when we had a vaccine. Having the vaccine allowed me to start living my life again, going back to me, looking after my PH, looking after my family, being involved with my family, and not the first thing I thought of every day was COVID, and was it going to take our lives? Suddenly with the vaccine, that became second, and as each vaccine has come along, it's going further to the back of my priority list. And I still do everything. Gloves on when I go shopping. I don't wear masks now, but I wear gloves every time I go out, so I don't get contamination, because I have had COVID now, and I'm sure we caught it through touching. So I still do that when I'm out in public, and I still have eye levels of hygiene and people coming into my home. But that's me now taking control of COVID. For me, the last 2 years have been a roller coaster, but life-changing. The biggest thing was the challenge on my own physical and mental well-being, where it was taken away from me, and I've had to fight really hard to get my independence back again. So it's like a second battle. I did it with PH and I've done it now with COVID, and it won't beat me again. And hopefully that's the last battle I'll have to face in my life. But it's been a major roller coaster, major learning curve, and a really big rethink on the values of life. If it happened all over again, I would not listen to the government. I would listen to my own common sense, because at the end of the first lockdown, my common sense was telling me I know how to look after myself. Don't tell me what to do. Okay, this is a very dangerous virus, and I know that we can do many things, like go out and eat and, certain things, but to tell somebody in their life they can't go outside the door was ridiculous. If it happened again, I would take control for myself and realise that I'm a sensible enough person to know what I need to do to keep me and my family safe.